Welcome to my van tour. Come on in. My name is Tiffany. I'm a solo traveler of 12 years. I spent the last 6 years traveling full-time in my 2019 Winnebago Travato 59G van. I travel from coast to coast, Canada, and Mexico. I'm on a quest to explore all the national parks in the U.S. I've seen 42 so far. My favorite national park is Bryce Canyon in Utah. When I'm not traveling in the van, I enjoy cruising. And if I'm not cruising around the ocean, most likely I'm at one of the Disney parks. Many years ago, I filmed a van tour video. It was horrible. I didn't know anything about filming, editing, music, voiceovers. There was so much that I missed showcasing in that first video, and I've wanted to do an updated video ever since. I feel like I have improved, so I'm giving it another shot. Please remember to give my video a thumbs up. I appreciate all of your support. Thank you. We're going to start in my tiny kitchen. Here to my right, this is a Dometic 2-burner stove. It has this glass top here that I can use to prep food. It is a propane stove, and you guys have seen many of my cooking videos throughout the years. Not only is my 2-burner stove a Dometic, but my sink is a Dometic as well. Faucet here, it folds down, so it's great for traveling, and it's not in the way, and I don't have to worry about it bumping around. Seeing that my home is on wheels, I can just fold it away like so, and then place the lid down. Something in my kitchen, don't think I've ever showed you. I have a window here, and I rarely let the shade down. And then these are some DIY black shades that I made for my van. So it looks like I have limousine tint. You cannot see any lights inside of my van at night. And it makes the van very dark, which is how I like to sleep. When Winnebago created the layout of this van, they did a phenomenal job. I have all of the basic necessities that you have in your sticks and bricks home, your apartment. I have it here in my van. The only difference is my home is on wheels. Very comfortable, it's functional. I love the layout in this van. Comment below and let me know if you would like a tour of my cabinets. I can do a cabinet tour. I have these can lights here. I have 2 of them, one here on the left, one on the right, which is great for whenever I'm cooking or taking pictures of food. I love having this light here. It is perfect. This is a great workspace. So I use this not only for cooking, but also making my skincare product. Here to the right, I have 3 light switches. I have a light for the front area here for my bedroom, and then I have a 3rd light switch for the bathroom. There's 2 outlets, so I can plug in my air fryer, charge up my laptop. I also have a cable plug, so if I wanted to hook up a TV, I can do so below the sink and the stove. I have 3 light switches. I have an outside light, the light here in the main area, which I call my living room. I also have an additional light switch here, which is the light that's above my cab area. Whenever I'm sitting up there working, I love using that light because it really brightens up the space. I have 3 drawers here. This top drawer is where I keep all of my silverware, my knives, measuring cups, and different things like that. The 2nd and 3rd drawer is my junk drawer. So I'm not going to open those up, but those are my junk drawers. This one here, I keep organized. It just makes me happy when I open up that drawer and see all the colors. So yeah, I definitely keep that organized. This cabinet here is very spacious. It holds all of my laundry detergent, bleach. I also use this space to store extra things like tissues, paper towels. This cabinet here is very spacious to store all of those things away that I don't want sitting out. I have a microwave. This is not a confectionate microwave. This is my 2nd motorhome. My last motorhome, I did have a confectionate oven. I don't miss it. I did in the beginning. A lot of things that I cook that I need to cook in a convection oven, I can cook it in my air fryer or my grill. I use my microwave for storage. It's a great spot for storing things. This is a residential refrigerator. The refrigerator is at the top and the freezer is at the bottom. This is a NovaCool refrigerator. They are out of Canada. They have the best customer service. I had some issues with my refrigerator. I pulled it out, purchased a new refrigerator. I had a friend that worked on the refrigerator, was able to fix it. NovaCool sent me the part overnight. Never had any issues with them. So I was able to put my refrigerator back in here, which this is the refrigerator that I need. It connects to a battery. I have solar panels, which is perfect whenever I'm traveling. My last refrigerator that I had, it was a 3-in-1. It was a Dometic refrigerator. It ran off of propane, electricity, and the batteries. I miss having that type of refrigerator. I would run it off of propane. It used very minimal propane. This here, it drains a lot of my batteries because I have this freezer at the bottom. I burnt up a set of batteries when I was up in Montana dry camping, and cost me a lot of money. It was free to dry camp, but it cost me about $700 to replace those batteries because my refrigerator drained my batteries. I have a generator. I was camping with a group of friends that had like 8,000 watts of solar on top of their rig. They did not want to hear the sound of the generator. I didn't run it. I regret it. It cost me a lot of money. I love this refrigerator. If you want a tour, let me know and I will do a tour video. But it's very spacious. It holds a lot of food, even the freezer. So for this to be a tiny space, this is a nice size refrigerator. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is a Winnebago Travato 59G. There's also a 59K. The 59K has a totally different layout, and the refrigerator is more of a dorm size refrigerator. So their whole refrigerator is about the size of the top half of my refrigerator. It's not a lot of space. This cabinet here is a clothes closet. I converted it into a pantry. So I purchased a very slim rack that I put into this closet. It's a 4-tier rack and it works perfect. The size fit to the T because this is a very narrow space. It's only about 8 inches wide, which isn't a lot of space. I will link it in the description box below. That's it on the kitchen. So we're going to move over to the living room. In my living room, I have all of my controllers. This one place controller. This is my water pump. That's what this button is for, is the water pump. Then I have the tank levels. So on my rig, I have a freshwater tank, I have a black tank, and I also have a gray tank. It shows me my tank levels, so I know when my black tank is gray tank is full or when my freshwater tank is empty. This button here is my battery level. I don't really look at that whenever I'm in the campground because my batteries are constantly being charged because I'm plugged into power. When I'm out dry camping, I definitely take a look at that. These buttons here to the right, this is for my generator. So it is a auto start generator. All I have to do is hit the start button and my generator turns on. Because I'm plugged into power, I am not going to push that button because I don't know what will happen and I'm not going to find out. But that's what that button's for. And then that's the stop button whenever I want to turn it off. And then this is my meter. I probably have about 200 hours, if that, on my generator. I don't have a lot of hours because I rarely dry camp. And if I do, it's usually for a night and I don't need to run the generator. This panel here is my Zamp solar panel, telling me how much solar I'm pulling in. I'm plugged into power, so I'm not even concerned about how much I'm pulling in. But that's what this control panel is. This panel here is my Truma heating system. Underneath my love seat, I have a hot water tank. It holds 2.5 gallons of water. I control the furnace. I control my hot water. I can switch this between electricity and propane. Like I mentioned, my stove runs off of propane only, but everything else in my rig, as far as like the hot water tank, it all runs off of electricity and propane. So whenever I'm in the campground, I never have to use my propane to heat up my water, which saves me a ton of money. I have not purchased propane, I think, about 2 years. And you guys know I do a lot of cooking. I'm not having to heat my water. It saves me a lot of money. This panel here is my power control system. It shows me that I'm pulling in 30 amp, which that's what I'm plugged into. My van is an all season van, so I can camp all year. Summer, winter, because I have the tank heater. I have camped in some very cold places. Temperatures drop. All I have to do is flip that switch. It heats up my tanks and I don't have to worry about them freezing. So that's really nice. This here is not a controller or panel. This is my WeBoost. I had a friend of mine that installed this a few years back. So this is the WeBoost here and that's the antenna. I have a 1,000-watt inverter, which comes in handy whenever I'm dry camping. I can use the inverter to draw power and watch my TV, to draw power, to use these outlets, which I will show you on this wall here. That's come in handy whenever I'm dry camping and I don't want to run the generator, or if I'm in a place where I can't run the generator, all I do is just flip that switch and I now have power to my TV and my outlet. So those are all of my controllers. I have a TV, so let me show you that. There is storage behind here. And this is where I store my CDs. I've mentioned it a few times in videos that I have a large CD collection. So that's all I store, is just movies back there. I like that added space. I have these 2 fans that I keep up here and I can move them throughout the van as needed. They have a clip on here, so like if I'm in the kitchen cooking and it gets hot, I can clip it to the cabinets and stay cool. Behind the fans is a little storage pocket, and that's where I store my remote controls. This is a radio and a CD player, so it controls the TV. I put black tape here over, and I'm gonna show you, over the clock because it's very bright. I like for my van to be dark at night. I sleep best when it is pitch dark, so I put the black tape over it so that you can't see any light in my van other than the microwave light. But yeah, so this is the CD player, and it also has a radio. I have 3 different speaker zones. I have one speaker here underneath the TV. I have one closer to the bedroom, and then I also have a speaker outside. So whenever I'm entertaining guests, I can play some music on the inside and listen to it while I'm outside. I also have these lights here. I have 2 plugs so I can charge my laptop. I also have USB outlets as well. And then I have the accordion shades, and I love these shades, and my windows opens and close from left to right, and I like that. On some of the vans I've seen, the windows push out. I do not like that setup. I love that I can slide my windows open. My van is on a Ram ProMaster chassis. It is the 2500 wheelbase, and it has the high roof. It has all of the standard features that you would have on your vehicle. I have a backup camera. It also comes with these blackout shades. This particular one is my side shades, and then they came with these 2 front window shades. The shades for my side windows stay in place by these magnets here, and so I just put it into the window like so, and you can hear it snapping in place. Both my passenger and driver seat swivel. My driver seat swivels all the way around. If you guys remember, I used to have a table in this space. I did take the table out, so I would sit here about 95% of the time to do my work on that table, but I removed it. I have a smaller table here, and so this is where I edit all of my videos. I love that these chairs swivel around because I work here and it's great for entertaining. But yeah, so there's nothing fancy about the front cab area. Like I mentioned, it has all of the same features that you would have in your car, along with a backup camera. I have these blackout curtains that I unroll, and it blocks out a lot of the lights. So I roll these down every single night. Yeah, but anyway, so there is a lot of storage above the cab area that I use to store mainly my winter clothes. I used to store holiday decorations up there, but I no longer store them in this space. So it's just more so winter clothes, jackets, and things like that. I also wanted to mention that my van sleeps 4 people and it seats 5. My love seat converts into a bed. I removed my table, so I can't show you the setup. I know I've shared with you guys a few times that I've had, I think maybe 3 or 4 different ladies camp with me inside of my van. They slept in the front part of the van and I slept in the back. But yeah, it sleeps 4 people, so it converts into a full-size bed. I also wanted to show you guys the flooring in my van. I have some beautiful dark tile throughout the van, and in my bathroom I have some beautiful bamboo floors. Got to mention, in my kitchen I have this Max Fantastic fan. It is remote control. It has 4 different speeds to it. I love having this fan. You guys see me use it whenever I'm cooking. It tends to get hot in this fan and suck out the heat. Something else I want to mention, this fan have a rain guard on it, so I don't have to worry about water getting inside of the van. Now when I get to the restroom, I'll show you the exhaust fan that's in the bathroom. It does not have a rain guard. So I showed you guys the cab area, my living room, my floors, and the kitchen. If you would like to have a cabinet tour, just comment below and let me know, as well as if you would like to see my refrigerator. So this is my bedroom. My bed sleeps 2 people. It is a full-size Murphy bed, so it folds up. I'm not going to show you in this video because I have too much stuff on my bed and I don't want to move it, so I'm not going to show you in this video. But it is a Murphy bed. It does fold up. I use my bed as storage, so underneath my white comforter I have my fall throw blanket that is underneath here, my pink throw. That's where I store them because it's just not a lot of storage space in this van, so that's where it goes. But yeah, here is my air conditioner. This is a 5000 B2 air conditioner, and it gets very, very cold. It doesn't work great with the front cab area because if you notice, is that at the back of the van, I wish they would have put that air conditioner in the center of this van. Having it at the back of the van, it really doesn't benefit the front cab area. It'll cool it off back here, and it makes it hard for you to sleep back here. I have one vent on this end, and then I have the other vent. And what happens is when you're laying in this bed, that vent that's on the opposite side, it freezes your head. I have seen people replace this cover with one that has the vents here in the center where you can change it, but it needs to be in the center of this van. It makes more sense having it in the center of this van, because when I do open up my back door, all the cold air flows out because the vent is at the back door. It's nice to have an air conditioner. I won't complain too much. Yeah, so in my bedroom, my 2 cabinets here, store my clothes in. If you'd like to have a cabinet tour, just let me know. There is storage underneath my bed as well. There's 3 or 4 cabinets underneath my bed for storage, and then I also have cubbies that run the length of my bed. I have the storage rack here, and this is what I hook my Disney ears on. And this is the bedroom. My bathroom is a wet bath, so let me show you that. So I have nice bamboo floors, a toilet. There is storage space above the toilet where I keep all of my toiletries. Here's the exhaust fan that's in the bathroom, and here is my sink. And then there's 2 storage cubbies on both sides of the sink. So the one here, and then the other one is on this side. This is where I store my tissue and things like that. And it has a mirror in here as well. This button up here is to drain the shower. You have to pump the water out as you're taking a shower. I have this shower curtain that snaps into place. There's these little snaps here. You can snap them in place to cover up the toilet. So as I mentioned, my van is an all-season van, so I can dry camp all year. I have a generator to run my air conditioner in the heat, and I have a furnace that heats my van in the winter months. It runs off of propane, so I can dry camp in my van 365 days of the year, no matter what the climate is. On my roof, I have 250 watts of solar. I also have an antenna up there, so if I wanted to watch TV, I could. I rarely watch TV. I tend to watch more movies on my tablets. As I mentioned, my van is a 2019 Winnebago Travato 59G built on the Ram ProMaster 2500 chassis. On the driver's side of my motorhome is the gray and black tank flush valves, as well as all the connectors for the water power and the exhaust vent for the Truma heating system. On the passenger side of the van, there is a 13-foot awning equipped with lights and an automatic wind sensor. There's also an illuminating full-length running board. Towards the back are the power outlets, cable and portable solar connectors, black tank flush inlet, night lights, and speakers. On the back of the van, there is a tow hitch and a backup camera. Everything you see inside and outside of my van came standard with the vehicle. That's it for my van tour. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you watching my videos. Please remember to hit thumbs up and share this video with a friend or 2. Also check the description box below for items mentioned or seen in today's video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.